Okay. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We just had a quick session, just to know what is going on really in Ebonyi State. And I've got the PDP, governorship candidate in Ebonyi State. It's my pleasure having you here, sir. Please, can you, do the honors, introduce yourself, and let's talk about how easy or difficult has the campaigns be like in Ebonyi State? What is really going on as regards situation on ground?
Well, my name is Ifeanyi Odii. I'm the gubernatorial candidate for PDP in Ebonyi State. It's not been easy. Of course, we know coming from, the way things are in the country, whereby, the ruling parties are not allowing the opposition to have freedom of campaigning. Of course, you are aware of some executive order that was declared by the state governor of Ebonyi State, and then which actually making it difficult for other political parties to have free, atmosphere of campaigning. In many occasions, opposition political parties are being targeted, by the so-called bubagos and all of that, using our talks and intimidating our followers. So it has not been easy. Of course, I'm sure you should have been hearing it on the news. In most cases, we've just been trying to see how we've been able to manage ourselves and put ourselves together. So that's what we're facing.
Have you at any point been able to report all of this Ebubeagwu and what they are doing to the police? Because we understand that there's central authority there. But it seems as though that, like you said, this activity of this Ebubeagwu has not stopped. They keep harassing people, like you said. And what have been some of the direct effects on your campaign? Were any of your supporters attacked? What has been, and who is sending these people?
Well, of course, we know that the Ebubeagwu militia group is actually an security outfit where the consultant is the APC chairman in the state, So, of course, we know it is a militia group targeted for opposition parties, whereby if you are a voice or you're a strong follower of any opposition candidates, they come after you. Sometimes they arrest the person by 2 a.m. in the night and take the person to a detaining camp in an old government house. Sometimes only, by God's grace, the person comes out after you have maybe got information about it and they begin to rat the state commissioner of police in most cases, so it's not been easy, so we'll be reporting to police, we'll be reporting to security agencies, but it seems like I wouldn't even really say they have done much. We need them to sit up and then begin to, we are aware of when even the IGP gave a directive that a militia group should not be allowed in a campaigning period like this, but then in Ebonyi State, it's not the same. They are free. If you come into Ebonyi, you see them with a gun, you see them with all kinds of weapons and all of that.
So that means this Ebubeagwu are violating the words of the IGP. And have you done like any follow-up since that time, probably to send the IGP a letter, the Inspector General of Police a letter, still inform him of these activities?
Yeah, of course. The problem is that, IGP is in Abuja. Yes, we may have sent letters, but the truth of the matter remains that the CP in the Ebonyi State and other security agencies, they are the one to enforce it. They are the one on ground. So a situation whereby, they are not looking at that directive as something they need to carry out immediately. So it's like IGP may stay in Abuja and give directive, but it's not about who will be able to carry out, the enforcement of that directive. That's what matters.
Did you feel your life is in threat of danger in any form?
Well, of course, yes. Many of our followers, it's dampening their spirit, they are scared with intimidations that are going about. So it's really affecting us. But then, of course, Ebonyi is a PDP state before now. The Ebonyi people love PDP. So that's the only way we actually was having hope that, yes, that we can still, manage to find our way to victory.
Okay. So I'd also like to ask you, since it's political campaigning season, the governor in the state claims he has done a lot for the development of people. He has invested in infrastructure, he has built new universities, he has built schools, he has built marketplaces, and he always has come to Ebonyi that it is an industrial powerhouse now as regards, infrastructural development. What's your take on this?
Well, to another extent, I'm somebody who believes in a constructive engagement. Yes, some areas would have done well, but what we look at is the immediate need of the people, which is the major part of where I'm championing my own campaign towards, is the fact that we need to invest so much on human capital development. Yes, we may have done building of bridges and building of flyovers, but the thing remains that we're looking at beyond that. Look at our educational system, looking at our primary health care, looking at about how many industries do you have in Ebonyi State and all of that. Looking at about the unemployment rate and looking at about the poverty, rate in Ebonyi State. That will tell you whether there's much that needed to be done. And that is why, Ebonyans is looking forward to someone like Angie Chooks, which is my other nickname. Somebody who can actually introduce different policies that will bring about enabling environment that will grant access to investors to come into Ebonyi and then join hands to develop Ebonyi State, so they will be able to create job opportunity for our people.
Is it that human capital development has not been looked at all this while?
Well, to a large extent here, that's why if you check MBS rating, you will see Ebonyi is rated as one of the third poorest in the federation and the poorest in the southeast. If that had been done, you will see the majority of people you see on the traffic in Lagos hawking. The majority of them, 99% of them, are Ebonians, if not 100%. So that tells you whether we are being lettered on.
Okay, let's talk about revenue coming into Ebonyi State. What do you think you can do differently? Ebonyi has a lot of potential for agriculture, things like Abakaliki rice and the likes, and which the governor claims that he's been working on. But why is it that the IGR of Ebonyi is still very small?
Well, to like I said, yes, every government will have a way to project the government, but the reality is what is on ground. Because like I said, if actually you've done so much in terms of human capital development, the poverty rate should have dropped drastically. Everything one does in life, for me, I think the first thing you turn it all about the welfare of the people first. Do you understand? So Ebonyans are known, and Ebonyi State is a state that is known as an agricultural state. We have a very arable land for agriculture, which is what we are known for. But today, it is not that way,
So, since it's not that way, what else differently are you going to do apart from human capital development? And since you also claim that the governor has done a lot as regards infrastructure.
Well, I'm not saying he has done much about it. Of course, like infrastructure that has immediate need of the people is what I'm targeting. I would rather prefer to take infrastructure that will have immediate need for the people and invest on those ones. The one that will bring about, improving the life of the people.
Okay, so you are targeting on those ones. And what is going to be your approach as you campaign across all the local government in Ebonyi State?
Say again, please.
I said, what's now going to be your approach to get this development, human capital development, targeted at the people?
Yes. We are engaging people. Like if you have followed me up or you know much little about me, over the years, some of the things I've been doing, I've been in my own little way trying to engage myself in trying to support the people. And then over a period of time, we've been doing it, investing on the educational system, investing on, startup capital for indigents, trying to help in our only two way before now. So what that means is that we are already known, we are popular people in Ebonyi State. So what I do is that engaging people from door to door and then campaigning and telling them about what we are bringing on board. So that's what we've been doing since we are not freely allowed to be campaigning,
Okay, so let's talk about prosperity in Ebonyi State. And I'm sure that you know this, that you are going to be, campaigning to be governor in a state that is the poverty capital of southern Nigeria, as they call it. So what, innovative things would you have to do to bring people out of this massive level of poverty?
Well, first of all, the most important thing is for me, I look at two things critically. One, do you really want to improve the life of the people? What kind of policies are you bringing on board? Is it going to be policies that are targeted, on the welfare of the people? So first, like I said, Ebonyans are not lazy people. They are hardworking people. And by God's grace, we are being blessed with a lot of solid mineral resources. We are being blessed with arable land. So there are a whole lot of things where I think that we'll be looking at investing massively on it. Part of it will be education system. Because when you build people, it will enable you to create skill job. When you now have investors who are coming into investing in your own estate, you'll be able to have the people who have been trained to be able to take the opportunities. So we know that in Ebonyi State we have a whole lot of opportunities, but we now have to work on how to create policies that will enable investors to come into Ebonyi State, and those areas are very critical to us. And secondly, security issue. Of course, you know that there's no state where there is no security issue that we expect people to come and invest their money. So we want to target some key areas where we want to address as soon as we get into office.
Let's talk about the communal conflicts in Ebonyi State. We've had one or two skirmishes as regards community and fights and things like that in Ebonyi State. What would you like to say about that?
Well, it's part, when we come into office, by grace of God, we look into there's a lot of communal crisis in Ebonyi State, but part of it is one of the things we are going to be addressing within the first 100 days in office to ensure that we bring Ebonyi people together in one table, and then letting them know that there is need for us to live in harmony, and then that with relative peace, people can actually, pursue their destinies without any harassment. So there's been a lot of communal crisis, but I'm thinking part of this communal crisis are political motivated crisis, which if we come into power, we address it.
Okay. So you're saying you're going to, when you come into power, you probably address and all of that. There's also a discovery of crude oil and other minerals causing killings in a place called Ifeanyi in Ebonyi State. What would you like to say about that going on?
Well, honestly, it's very disheartening, but then, like I said, the majority of the communal crises we're having in Ebonyi State are political motivated crises, which, God willing, by the time we come into office, we'll address those issues to know where it's emanating from and looking at how to give it a permanent solution. Whether if it is dispute based on the solid mineral deposit or whatever thing that is causing it, we address it.
Okay. I'd like to say a very big thank you to you, but as we, wrap up things, if there's anything that is on your mind that you feel is the principal problem and the most important pitch you would like to make to the Ebonyi people, what will it be now?
Well, for me, Ebonians, they know who they want to be their leader from 2023. They should not be allowed themselves to be cowered with any kind of intimidation. They should stand firm, to vote for any candidate of their choice. If they my pedigree and they check my person, and then what the kind of governor they look forward to have in 2023, they should vote and they stand firm to defend their votes. And this election is not going to be by intimidation. It is going to be by I think this election is going to allow a lot of, surprises to emerge because the way we are seeing it, we are anticipating that it's going to be free and fair election. It is not going to be the other old times of thumb printing and all of that. So this 2020 election is going to be a paradigm. It's going to bring about a paradigm shift to our democratic system. So people should not be allowed themselves to be deceived, or maybe you ended up getting scared out of coming out to vote. Come out in mass and vote. And for me, they should look forward to voting for Ifeanyi, because Ifeanyi will bring prosperity to Ebonyi people.
Are you confident in the conduct of INEC thus far in your state?
To a large extent, yes.
Okay. Do you have any concerns about INEC?
For now. No, for now, I don't think there is any.
Okay.
Because this is...
Okay. I'd like to say a very big thank you to you for your time, Mr. Ifeanyi.
Thank you.
Governorship Candidate.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.